Hello, everybody. It's Friday evening. This is the Noel Zone. And for the next hour, we're going to have a little bit of a chat with you guys and everybody there. I will be joined by Mr. PD Rich, who is already in the chat there. Yes, StreamYard have updated their stuff. I can now stream on Instagram if I had a professional account. I don't know what that means. I mean, does that mean you have to pay for it? So yeah, you can stream on Instagram if you pay Instagram apparently, but I'm not going to pay Instagram because Instagram's a lot of me crap. So yeah, but the option is there now. Apparently, you could do live streams there. It would have been great because that's where most of the fandom is, and I could have roiled a few of them up on Instagram. But unfortunately, I'm not going to get the opportunity. So we'll just do it where we always do it. As I said, we'll be here for an hour because I've got stuff to do. The washing machine. We've had problems with our washing machine over the last couple of weeks. The drum keeps filling up for no reason whatsoever. Tonight, I found a valve actually that I needed to fucking yoke. And as soon as I turned it, water came flooding out. So I've got a flooded kitchen I've got to deal with. And I've got a washing machine to fix. So I'll be here and then I'll be off. Pro means more perks, I think. Well, fuck pro. Anyway, let's bring in our co-host for this evening that's joining me. It's the one and only Mr. P.D. Feckin' Rich. Yes.
Hello. Is it working? Sorry, I'm on the wrong. Sorry, we're doing mod stuff at the moment. There we go. Yeah, it is working.
Oh, you are just checking to see if it works. So apparently now the moderators can time you out for a certain amount of time. Now my moderators, like PD, and most of the moderators in the chat are actually pretty lenient, I have to say.
Yeah. Thanks, Isaiah. Yeah, I only timed you out for 60 seconds.
Yeah, the only time that they really time people out is when they're doing really bad shit.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't mind anybody coming in here making a comment. But if it's racist in any nature, if there's any fucking hate in any way, because look, at the end of the day, I get accused of being all stuff. Of course, I'm against racism and I hate hatred.
Oh, yeah.
I want the world to get on and everybody to be fucking kumbaya. But that's we all do, but it's a fucking dream, right? Yeah. It's a fucking dream. But doesn't mean that while I'm here, I can't enforce those things. So we're not harsh. We will, we kind of do let a lot of things slide that we don't deem too bad. But over a couple of days ago, I seen a couple of comments that I wasn't happy with myself personally, and I don't want to see that type of talk in the chat. You know what I mean? I get that some people will be angry with RTD and other people like Shooty or whatever. And if you want to make comment, that's fine. But don't bring their sexuality into it, like, and use that against them. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, RTD is a horrible person because he's a fucking horrible person. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing got to do with his sexuality. It's just, that's RTD. It's always been RTD. Anyway, we do have some, it's kind of like a Friday night contact, but it's not, if you know what I mean. But we do have a couple of things I do want to bring up. So Rachel Ziegler, as you all know, has been, well, let's say she's been in the news for the wrong reasons, because she seems to be the type of actress that, like Brie Larson, that type, that just keeps opening her mouth. The one thing I'll say about Daisy Ridley is Daisy Ridley never really, she did say a few things, but she wasn't as insufferable as maybe, the others. Yeah, right? Like, but here's the thing. Disney now have gotten Rachel to go on a bit of a PR spin. Because, as you all know, she criticized the original animation for saying it was outdated and it is stereotypical and the prince wouldn't be kissing, and all of this other rubbish. But she's now changed. She's now come out with a statement to say that she loves the original and, And then, but Rachel Ziegler fans have come out with some stupid comments, and one of them actually said, you know, it doesn't matter if Snow White was a popular animation. It doesn't mean that it was good writing. Let me just tell you, okay, Snow White made the Disney company. Yes, they had other projects, but it was Snow White. That was the one that launched them, right? So I'm sorry, I disagree. I've watched. Listen, I love Snow White. I love old Disney. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love old Disney, and I love Snow White. I also love Sleeping Beauty. Right, love that movie. Right, some people hate that movie. That was actually my favorite Disney movie growing up as a kid. I don't know why. There was just something that connected me to that story more than the rest. But to claim that Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs isn't a cult classic, isn't a classic. Forget about being a cult classic. It's a classic, right? Top-notch writing. These fans absolutely... Listen, I'm just going to say this. If I was talking to Bob Iger, right, I wouldn't be slagging him off, even though he's made mistakes. But this is what I'd say to you. Say, listen, Bob, this is the deal. I can tell you as a person that grew up with Disney all my life, we don't want the live action versions of animations, right? We want you to go back doing what Disney is good at, creating new stuff. We don't live action movies. It's just, we see it as lazy, right? We see Hollywood as lazy, right now. You know, I mean, it's, for example, you know, the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F dropped. And while people are raving about it, I looked at it and I was like, really? Because apparently Netflix are hiding something from the trailer, which Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge was talking about.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is going to be about Axel F's daughter, right? So they kept, so I don't have, and it's Netflix. So I'm just going to say it, you know, Coming to America was a cult classic and a classic movie. And they did the second one. And me and Cheryl loves the first one. And we sat there and we watched the second one. We were looking at each other. Even Lisa, the character that was strong in the first movie, ended up being a sheep in the second one. It was so bad that I think there were 2 scenes in that whole movie where I actually laughed out loud that were actually still reminded me of the old Coming to America, but the rest of it was a shambles. I just feel Eddie Murphy is making a comeback again. You know, he hasn't been making the movies that he made during the 80s and the 90s, right? But he's making a comeback, and I'm delighted he actually is, because I like Eddie Murphy myself. But for me, the Beverly Hills Cop franchise had its day. The third one was absolutely shocking, in my opinion. The first 2 are especially the first one. The first one's the best one. The second one was great, right? But it wasn't as gritty as the first one. I've always maintained that the first one was a lot more gritty than the second one. But the second one was great. I'm not going to lie. It's still a very good movie. But the third one, Wally's World, or whatever it fucking was, absolutely ridiculous, right? It became more comedy than what Beverly Hills Cop was. And I saw elements of that in the Axel Foley trailer. And I just have me suspicions that this movie is going to be absolutely trash. What I would have liked them to see, you could have done, there's another movie franchise that you could have tapped into. 48 Hours.
Yeah.
You know, you could have done something there. I know it'd be a bit of a stretch to do a third one in the sequel, but you could do it that he gets caught up in something and he gets sent to jail again. You know, it's not far-fetched. You could make something work. But I'm a Beverly Hills Cop fan. I like the first 2. The third one I will tolerate because he's in it. And it's got, you know, your man.
George Lucas is in that one as well.
Yeah. Aquel Foley. I love him, right? Yeah. And of course,
George Lucas.
the part in the bar. The scene in the bar where he had all the directors and all and the producers. Yeah. Like, I mean, there were some scenes in that were great, but it was more comedy than the original. You know what I mean? They made it more light-hearted than the original. See, it would have been sinister having a print, money laundering, print of money in a fucking children's joke and then made it real edgy. That movie would have been a lot better. But apparently there were problems with that. But Disney, going back to Disney, the biggest mistake you made was hiring Rachel Ziegler. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But if you want to rescue this movie now, don't be sending her out on a PR spin, and don't be, you know what I mean. People know our true feelings, and our true feelings is she doesn't like the original Snow White. It's as simple as that. So why would you have an actress that doesn't actually like? I'm not saying they should, but she's come out in such a negative way about it, right? And that story is loved by a lot of people. Why you'd keep that actress in the role is beyond me. See, this is the problem with Hollywood. Actors and actresses think that they come out with all of these statements and there's no consequence. And there should be a consequence. And the consequence here is that Rachel Ziegler should be removed. If you're going to if you're going to remove Gina Carano for a post, right? And listen, as I said, I don't believe any actor or actress should get political, right? So that's why I was never like, 100% behind Gina Carano, right? But what I've always said is, well, if Gina Carano is going to be sacked, then why wasn't Pedro Pascal sacked? Because he was making political statements, right? So there was a hypocrisy there, right? But if he wants to fix the company and Bob says that he's starting to listen, well, then listen, actors, if you're going to take that step with Gina Carano, well, then you must take the same step with her, because she's come in. You've picked that actress to play Snow White, and she's come in. She has slammed the original. So why would you have an actress that doesn't like the first one? And to be quite honest with you, why don't you get someone in that actually likes it? Because it comes out better in the performance, I think. I just think it's a shambles, but that's why Hollywood's in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. PD, you've heard what I've had to say. I mean, she should be. I mean, I don't know what you think, but would you go as far as firing Rachel Ziegler and replacing the actress
ages ago? Totally.
But do you think it's too late now? The project is tainted anyway, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's tainted. It's gone black, mate. It's like so tainted, it's unbelievable. It's just like gone black with rot, mate. It's just gone. I mean, the problem is, it's what Problem Being says. You got to bring back the PR officers and keep them on a leash, because they're just going around shouting their mouths off. It's like they live in such a bubble in California now. They don't know what the rest of the world is like, and they think it's because someone got mispronounced, the world is coming to an end. It's like, it's not like that. I mean, Jesus Christ, these people have really got to grow up. It's becoming like a playground. That's what's the problem with the BBC at the moment as well, with Doctor Who. You've just gone and given it to the people. You got to give it to the usual internal clique, and it's come back bad again, and the ratings are suffering. And it's like, well, what did you expect?
I just, they shoot themselves in the foot so much, Disney. At this stage, it's become
both of them
become a bit of a joke now at this stage. But so the Snow White project is still going ahead, but apparently now they're going to CGI the dwarf. So rather than so they got a backlash for the diverse dwarfs that they were going. They weren't even dwarfs. One was a dwarf, right?
Mystical bandit,
So what they've done is basically the person that they brought in, the only dwarf person that they brought in, they've now fired, and they're going to CGI all of it because people. That's not what we said. Anyway, you said if you're going to do a live action, then you've got to cast 7. By your logic, by their logic, it's their logic, by the way, not ours. We say you give it to the best person that has the job. You got modern technology now anyway to make people small. They done it with the Hobbit movies. They done it with Lord of the Rings, right? But by their logic, you know, the leftist mentality is, well, you should hire seven little people to do the job.
Yeah. No, not Peter Dinklage. Don't hire him. No, not anymore.
Right. So now they've now one poor unfortunate that actually got a chance to be in Snow White the Seven Dwarfs now is no longer in Snow White the Seven Dwarfs now. So she's ruined it for not just that person, but the 6 other people that they did pick, even though there was backlash against that. But still, there are 7 people now out of work thanks to her mouth.
Yeah. The guy who played Hornswoggle was completely right about it. It's like, well,
so that's
people only get to do these roles, they're the only people who can do these roles, so they give them to those people, you don't have giants playing dwarfs.
So that's why, though, there should be some consequence here. Because if other people are going to lose their job because of her amount, why is she not the one that's primarily losing her job?
Yeah. The whole project's tainted. It should just be a tax write-off, I think, now. It's toxic.
No, they're going it. They're just going to go ahead with it anyway.
Yeah, this is Disney. They like throwing stuff against the wall and then hoping.
You never know, though. They might actually. You never know. They might actually have to make a decent movie now. Might actually surprise themselves, but I don't hang on any hope of that happening because let's be honest, Disney haven't done their job the last few years. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. It's just this is what failing entertainment industry, their studios and broadcasters look like. This is just it. Keep wanting to repeat the same experiments over and over again and hoping for different results. They never get those different results.
Yeah.
That's why the industry's falling apart.
Do you know what though? Very, very funny. Bit of Doctor Who news. We won't dwell on Doctor Who too much tonight because obviously we do it during the week. But RTD has been bigging up the ratings. Lee has also exposed the BBC in delaying the consolidated figures for the second episode, Wild Blue Yonder, and then adding those views. They delayed it for 4 days and added those 4 days onto the consolidated figures. Now people are trying. Now the ratings place said it may have been an error, stuff like that. But Lee is obviously digging more into this. He's gone into the freedom of information and he's doing other stuff as well because he believes, and by looking at the evidence as well, it's there to see. They have added those extra, but he's been bigging up saying 7 million. That includes BBC iPlayer and Disney Plus. But just to give you context, Disney Plus is in over 60 million countries and only 7 million people tuned in to watch Doctor Who, and not all of them on Disney Plus. So no matter what they say, right? If it got 7 million in the overnights, that's great. By the way, that would be great in the modern age. But they're down by 2-3 million, but yet they're still trying to big these up. It's bad. It's bad. Can it recover? Only time will tell. But look, the media, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Oh, not 60 million countries. I meant 60. It's in 60 countries. But yeah, so that's what I meant. Sorry, confused. Yeah, I know that's so 60 million. But well done for reminding me, Josh. Yeah, so it's in Disney Plus is in 60 countries. So 7 million, 60 countries, right? Think about it. 7 million, 60 countries worldwide. Disney Plus is in. It's in 60 countries, so 60 markets, right? And it got 7 million. So that's 7 million included with Disney iPlayer, or BBC iPlayer and Disney Plus, and then obviously the TV rate 7 million. And apparently to RTD, that's considered a success. Now, it's not.
No.
Right? It's catastrophic, actually. And the thing about it is that this Christmas special now has to do something special.
Yeah.
It does. It really does. The song going to #1 for one day and them tried to get it to the Christmas #1. Forget about all of that malarkey anyway, right? The song is shit, right? It's a novelty, right? I mean, the subject matter of the song is absolutely disgusting in my eyes. See, we're living in a world where, where feminists want, we see all of this abortion on tap and all of this other rubbish, right? I'm not against abortion in certain extreme cases. I've said that all along. But we're living in an age now, and in every country, even in Ireland, I never thought I'd see abortion passed, but it was in this country. Very Catholic country, like never thought it happened, but it did. Right? And I've come to terms with it. And people say, well, you're a bloke, it's nothing to do with you. Well, when you live in a country that values life as much as we do, and then all of a sudden, then the leftists take over, and then now you get all of this coming through. And now we find out that, the figures are actually absolutely shocking, the amount of abortions that are happening in this country. It's, I've always said, our parents were different. They were, if a woman got pregnant, even if a child was an inconvenience, they didn't say they didn't want the child. They accepted it, they adapted, and they moved. That, see, life is too easy for people now. They want every easy option open to them, right? And I'll never be for it. It's fucking disgusting. As I said, in medical conditions or in cases of, yourself and, family member, the word I'm trying to use, but I can't use it on YouTube, then yes, I absolutely agree there. But it's like everything else. People just want the easy option, the lazy option. There are other alternatives to stop you from getting pregnant 100% nowadays. There is no fucking excuse, right? That's just a lazy, easy fucking way out, right? And you know what I'd say to all these women saying, it's my body, my choice. You're absolutely fucking right. And it's your choice when you let a man blah, 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 blah. Right? That's all I'm going to fucking say.
I'm saying it's not a whatchamacallit though.
It takes two to fucking tango anyway. Remember
that.
that.
I'm going to say abortion isn't a condom though, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Without the, yeah. Anyway, we move swiftly on. Hayden Christensen, I could never say his name right, says playing Anakin Skywalker again reinvigorated his interest in acting. I always have to say, right? He's got an do you know that prequel trilogy was very toxic. The young lad was bullied as well.
Jake Lloyd,
he was bullied by the media. See, social media wasn't really a thing back then, so you got these clowns in the media trying to revise history and say it was the fans. It wasn't the fans, it was you guys in the media. And the same with Hayden, you just gave him a fucking terrible life as well.
Yeah, I thought it was good Revenge of the Sith.
That's what that was his best performance in that movie.
He was brilliant in that film.
That was his best performance in that. He was kind of wooden, I have to say, but that wasn't his. Them movies were changed so much as well. George was such a fucking nightmare on them. Anyway, but I'm glad to see he's back doing what he does, and I'm glad he's embraced the character again, because it's so easy for an actor that has a bad experience with a character like that, such an iconic character as well, by the way, that it's very hard for them to recover. But he's done well, and I'm delighted for him. Another bit of good news, because it's Christmas, and this I saw this 5 days ago, and it really, really, really fucking warmed me heart. So Macaulay Culkin, as you know, has been a big part of our childhoods and our kids' maybe childhood as well, because Home Alone franchise but especially the first one is such an iconic movie. Well, he recently received his Hollywood star Walk of Fame star, and one that played his mother was bleeding in tears. She was there. They were there with him, and I tell you, man, I welled up because he was getting very emotional. And one of the actresses that was a child actress with him said, "We survived and all this." She was given like kind of cryptic yokes. We survived all of this, and it was just a sweet. It was like the Brendan Frey when he got his.
Yeah,
it was just so emotional, man. And I'm delighted. Listen, I'm glad Macaulay is in a good place now.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately for child actors, and he's the perfect example, you know, when their cuteness kind of goes, they're kind of dumped.
Yeah.
You know, and he was one of them. And he still has, by the way, when he talks, he still has that low pitched voice. So even though he's a grown ass man, he sounds like he sounds like a teenager.
Yeah.
When he talks, he just looks so harmless and innocent. And when he was talking about his missus and their kids, and he welled up and on and was like, you know what? You've been through the mill. You know, you had that period where you were fucking, what was on drug? Was he doing? I think he was doing drugs, I think, and other stuff. People were worried about him. And he's at the sort. You should see him now. He looks so well, guys. I'm not messing. It's on YouTube if you just want to watch it. But I actually got a little bit emotional looking at it because, you know, as I said, Home Alone. I'll watch it a couple of times over the Christmas. I was going to watch it last night only before I fell asleep.
Yeah.
But I was going to watch it last night, so I might watch it when I get everything done here. When I'm about to go to bed, just put it on then. But it's a great movie. But it's nice to see him doing very, very well. So well done.
Yeah. Do you watch him on Red Letter Media, by the way? Goes on with Mike and Jay every once in a while. It's quite funny. Just takes the absolute piss the whole time.
Yeah, he takes the piss out of Home Alone as well. He said,
"Yeah,
do you know what? He said he'd love a. Do you know what he said? He said he'd love an adult version of Home Alone. Not porno, obviously, but an adult a kind of an adult, a horror kind of element to it. You know, I thought, you know what? That actually sounds good. It's better than the other fucking Home Alone that they brought out, which we won't fucking talk about. But
yeah, I'll show him his YouTube channel in the chat. Everyone go check him out. And he's also on Red Letter Media, which is hilarious. Just goes on there, just takes the piss out of old films he was in.
By the way, bit of going back to Doctor Who just briefly because there's a bit of classic news. So it's the 50th anniversary of when we first encountered the Santarans. So the Santarans are 50 years old today. So I just thought I'd put that out there for you guys, which is nice to see. What else have we got here? I see another stuff here as well. Where is it? Yeah, we talked about Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. I'm not really sure on that. Oh yeah, and obviously we spoke about a few months ago. So the NT movie Mutant Mayhem is now available on disc and digital, but nobody really gives a shit because it was absolutely awful. And PD has put Macaulay Culkin's channel in the chat there.
Yeah,
so go and check that out because you know what? We grew up with him, man, and I'm glad he's doing well. I even like Richie Rich, even though a lot of people didn't like that. But yeah, so last night a video surfaced of Will Ferrell. So he made comments. He must have been at some event. So he breaking news, which it's not, but it was because this account is a you know, repeats other people's news and then takes credit for it. But anyway, Will Ferrell has created a lot of controversy online over his speech where he said, "Isn't it just time for women to run the planet?" This speech was given at the Women in Entertainment Gala held at Beverly Hills Hotel in California. Farrell also stated that actress Kerry Washington should be president.
For what reason?
So,
what's a manifesto?
Right. When you get men like Will Ferrell
Oh, God.
that hate their own gender, that's when you need to stop listening to them. Listen, he says that I actually watched the whole speech. He actually says that we've done a pretty piss poor job. If you look at the world now, and while I will agree with that, right, that right now the world is piss poor, doesn't mean that men have failed. Look how far we've come. We've overcome 2 world wars.
Yeah, we've overcome loads of stuff. I mean,
We've overcome a lot of stuff. So to say, and by the way, it's very easy for Will to say that. You know, most of which gender loses their life most in wars?
Yeah.
How many millions of men, or hundreds of millions of men, have been lost through war over the centuries? Remember, there was a time where women weren't even in armies back in the day. They were all men. Millions died.
They weren't allowed to join.
Okay, so to say, you know, that we failed when we've overcome all of that is very, very short-sightedness from Will. Maybe Will, I don't know. Maybe there's something out there that's gonna pop up later on, and maybe this is his way, you know, because they all do it. You latch onto the feminist movement. But I don't know whether he was being ironic, because with Will Ferrell, you don't know whether he's being sincere or not, but he looked pretty sincere to me. And this is why, you know, he look, you're an actor. Shut your fucking mouth and act. I don't even think you're that good of an actor anyway. Sorry, sue me. I don't like him. Cheryl loves Elf. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
A grown man in an elf suit. Fuck that shit. Right?
Yeah.
Give me Step Brothers, love it, but again, that it's still a stupid fucking premise. 2 grown men that still act like fucking children is like stupid, right? The only decent movie he had was Anchorman, in my opinion, and The Campaign. I do like The Campaign though, because you know Zach is in that movie as well, and fucking they just rip the shit out of each other in that. But listen, don't be listening to him, but again, when you get men hating themselves, you know, you've got to question what their motive is, you know, or if they start saying women should rule the world. Listen, it doesn't matter who's in charge of what country, right? Once they look after their people and they do right by their people, then this world would be a better place, right? But it's not. But here's the thing: men get blamed for everything, right? Well, I'm going to tell you now, okay? It's simple as this: men and women right now in this world, in this modern era, are ruining the world.
Both sides of the aisle are screwing up.
Right? We've seen some female prime ministers from certain countries that have been worse dictators than their actually male counterparts. Okay, so listen, it's not what gender is ruling the world, right? What it is we should just all come together and come together for the betterment of humanity. But there are so many people out there, men and women, in the elites, right? They don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
Right? For them, it's money. You're the slave. Okay? We're all slaves. Remember that. You all think you are free. You aren't free.
Yeah. You've seen that recently. No, we won't go into any details.
But you aren't free. You're born. You're given a number. Right? You're given a birth cert. Right? then you're educated in school or indoctrinated in school, right? You leave school, you go to college to get further indoctrinated, and then you go out and get a job, and then that's your life, right? You get a job, you work, and then you may meet someone, right? Start a family, right? Then more money, and then that's the cycle again. Your kids then are the next generation of slaves. They're kids and kids. We're working for the elites. Remember that. The elites get all the money. We get paid pittance and they tax us. They tax us on money that they pay us, like. And then they tax us for the food that we eat. And now I saw a recent article, by the way. I told you this was coming. And people remember me saying this. Don't be surprised if they start charging you for the air that you breathe. Right? Because now apparently breathing is dangerous for the climate. That's an actual article that they've put out there. Scientists say breathing may be dangerous for climate change. So you know what? So do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? Exactly what I've been saying for years.
Let's go start culling the animals now because they're
no, not just the animals.
Everyone. It's like culling everyone now.
Listen, animals won't be good enough. Animals won't be good enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they cull the animals that they think they need to cull, right, and sustain the human race, but remember they'll only keep enough for just enough for us, but plenty for them. Remember that this is to control our food, but then that won't be good enough. They'll need stronger measures.
Oh yeah,
breathing, as in breathing the air that you breathe, right? So what's the next step after all the animals that they cull and then they get you to murder your pets like they tried to do, right?
During lockdown, yeah.
What's next? What do you think? Who's next? Who do you think is next? So after they've done the animals, right? Who's next? Who else breathes on this planet? Breathes air on this planet?
We do. Animals do. Everyone does.
Yeah. So
we've been breathing on this planet for many, many years, and it hasn't affected the climate back then.
Right. So we're next. Right. So this is what they're saying by this. When they start talking about this shit, pay attention. Pay attention. Because all of this shit used to be called conspiracy theory. Yeah. But the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and all of these others are very open about it now. They're open about it now. They don't really care. They're not in the shadows anymore. They're telling you. Like your man, Swab, wherever his name is, I can never say his name. He's literally told everybody that if you've nothing to hide, then you don't mind us taking away your freedoms because you've nothing to hide. He's literally telling you that you're going to be a slave. He told you that cars won't exist, right? You will have to use a service, right? You'll have digital ID. 15 minutes, every aspect of your life will be controlled. And then then obviously, they can't do it right now because they see that the public in every country is backlashing. So what will they do to counter that? Oh, let's make up a pandemic. Let's create a bioweapon. Let's take some of let's bring the population down, right? And they're going to continue to do it now because what are they doing in every country? They're pushing the boosters. Oh, don't forget to get your COVID boosters, folks.
They don't work.
Right? No, of course, they do work. They do work, but not in the way that you think they're supposed to work. Right? We all know. I can't say it on YouTube, but let me just say that this has just been reported. It's actually happened 4 days ago. But a Brazilian gospel singer was live on stage, I think, at a wedding, and there's video footage. He's singing, and then he gets to the high note, and he just topples over, right? Yeah. And this fella was jabbed up to the eyeballs. Okay, now there's people dropping dead. Listen, you don't have to be a scientist, right? The media and the government saying, "Oh, there's no correlation between the two." There is. There is. And the reason why they're burying it, and the reason why they don't want you to know, because they know they will have to answer. And Klaus Schwab, he's eating too much beef, and he's they're all a bunch. Look at.
He even looks like bloody Blofeld. That guy. It's like,
listen, they're trying to take over every aspect of your life,
but it
right?
failed.
And not it hasn't though. That's the thing.
It failed in Germany.
Right?
Totally failed in Germany.
What needs to happen is right. So this is what has happened. Vladimir Putin has put out. Basically, he said that he's a danger to the human race. So he's basically, if he ever comes to Russia, well, he won't be getting out of Russia. Let's just say. So Putin, listen, I just want to let you all know something. These are all you people that, support the Ukraine. You are backing the wrong horse, by the way. Because now it's being revealed that Ukraine will enter the European Union. This is what this was all about, by the way. And Vladimir Putin was very fucking smart and ahead of it all. And everybody thought he was a mad dictator, right? He's trying to save the world, by the way. He's the only fucking leader in the world that's actually going against, right? He doesn't want the WEF in his country.
Nobody does.
Right? And he doesn't allow it. Right? Okay, he wants to self-determine Russia's future, like we should all be doing.
Yeah.
Right? And he's saying it, and he told you all that the Ukraine was full of neo, you know what, and nobody would listen to him. And it's true, because the media have buried that story as well, because if you Google it, you could still get the articles back in 2012 all the way up to 2016 before this Ukraine thing happened. Right?
Yeah,
and the media,
even
Hillary Clinton, who was running for president at the time, was saying that Ukraine, not only Russia, but Ukraine was also a threat. Right? And Putin went in there to sort out the issue, right? And he's being condemned. But what's happened since then is that every country's just been given all their money to Ukraine, even though Ukraine is losing now. Apparently, Ukraine is losing the war, and it's only a matter of weeks before it's announced. But I think Vladimir has already come out and said they've won. So it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, that was a bit of a massive snafu, wasn't it? The Ukraine.
Everything that they do.
Wherever America sticks their fingers in anyone's pies, this always happens. So
no, but look, everything you've got to realize now. Wake up to all of this. The thing in Ukraine is a distraction. The thing with Russia and Ukraine, anyway, is a distraction. The thing in Gaza, right, is a distraction. Right, the stuff happening in America is a distraction. It's a distraction from what's going on in our own countries. See, while everybody is focused on what's going on in other people's countries, they don't realize that this shit is happening right underneath their nose in their own country. That's how the Irish were caught off guard.
Yeah. I mean,
so you need to forget all the outside noise. I'm not saying you shouldn't be horrified with innocent people dying out there. I'm not saying that, but your own country. Every country in the world right now is going through turmoil. And the people of those countries need to sort out their own mess before we can approach the others as a united front, right? When we get politicians in there that actually represent us, then we can push back against the WEF. Then you can push back against the UN. And then if Ireland is brave enough and the politicians are brave enough, we get out of Europe altogether and self-determine our own future. And I think every country should do that. And I think it should go back to what the EU was supposed to be all about in the first place, about trade. And leave it at that, right? Leave it at that, right? It was never supposed to turn into a government. It was never supposed to have its own anthem. It was never supposed to have its own army. This is not what we signed up for, right? It was supposed to be for trade, right? And then you've got that, your woman, what's her name?
Angela Merkel.
No, not Merkel, the von der Leyen.
Oh, gosh.
Right? She hasn't been elected, but she's gone around dictating to every country what they have to do, right? Who told you can stick your nose in Irish affairs and UK affairs and any other affair of any other European country? Shut your fucking mouth. And I told her that on X. I don't give a shit. Mind your own fucking business.
If it's so great, Ursula, it's so great. How come everyone's going very libertarian with their immigration policies in the EU at the moment against the EU's own rules? How come that's happening, my friend? How come?
Yeah, I know. Look, you all need to wake up now. Smell the coffee. You're being distracted by shit. There's shit going on in his own country. Canada is in turmoil. France is in turmoil. Italy is in turmoil. Ireland, we're fighting back. It could be a lot. We've got it worse, but this is the thing. We've got it worse than any other country out there, guaranteed. You look at the amount of migrants we brought in, and you look at the indigenous Irish people that live on the island and the amount of people that they brought in. When those people start having their own kids, the Irish will be wiped out of their own country. Some believe in 25 years. I disagree with that. I think it will be a little bit longer, but we're getting there. The more we bring in, the quicker, obviously, our downfall will happen. But I think at the current rate that we're going, it take about 50 years, to be honest. But if we continue to take them in at the rate that we are for another year, then I will bring that estimate down to about 30 years. And I think we would be, I mean, for example, there's a town, where was it? There was a town somewhere. It's a famous town. I don't think it was Kinsale. It was somewhere else, though. And it has something like 200 people living in this town. And there's double the migrants have gone in there. So basically, the migrants outnumber the Irish people living in their own town. And that's happening across towns all over Ireland. And the Irish government are wondering why we're giving out. So per capita, Ireland have taken in more than any other country if you look at the size of the population. So we're screwed. We're screwed. Other countries can recover. This is why now the Irish government is bringing in the facial. Yeah, we're becoming like China, by the way, now, because they're bringing in facial recognition now. The hate speech laws they're trying to push through. Here's how bad the hate speech laws are. If I say something on X and say I say something to a politician, say I call him a prick or something, right? If that politician in any way is offended, right, he can go to the Gardaí if this law passes, right? He can go to the Gardaí, make a complaint about me, right? Then the Gardaí can come knocking at my door, right, and ask to see my phone. And if I refuse to give them my password, right, that's automatic prison sentence. It's not like we go to jail, see if a judge's gonna find you. It's an automatic prison sentence. So that's what they're trying to do to shut us up, because we are winning. Right? Yesterday's march gathering, we're calling them now, was the lowest number of the ones. It was like when they first started, so I was told, because the government's work and the media saying it was a far right and naming and shaming the people that did loot, that had nothing to actually do with the people that were concerned about their country, by the way. Just want to make that point. But when people start getting named and shamed, a lot of people didn't turn up yesterday. There was about 50 of us or 40 of us that turned up yesterday. I was very disappointed yesterday, actually. You're right there, Daniel, though. I agree with you, but we got to keep it going, because the bottom line is you're fighting for your country's very survival, your heritage, your traditions. But not only that, it's not going to affect you in the long run. As I said to people out there, for us, obviously we will see the effect this has in 30, 40 years if we're still around. But the ones that suffer are our kids' kids and so on. They're the ones that are going to, see a different Ireland to the Ireland that I grew up in, my parents grew up in, their parents grew up in. It'll be a totally different demographic living in this country. And, the Irish government to do this, for money, and that's what it all boils down to, folks. Is money.
You know what the Arab Emirates said about it the other day? It says, "Well, you're taking in our trash."
Yeah, well,
that's what the Arabs said about it.
There's nothing we could do. They're destroying worlds anyway. They're destroying countries anyway. There's nothing you could do.
And I agree with Elon Musk about with virtue signaling.
All you could do was get out there. Listen,
people behind it.
Violence is never the answer anyway, right? I don't believe in violence myself. Over our history, we've had violent revolutions and stuff like that. And a lot of people have suffered. And that's not the way to go this time. But what you must do, and what everybody has to do in every country, even if you can't get out to every single one, be seen at one. Because, strength in numbers, that's our biggest weapon that we have against all of these politicians, right? Now, I know that you guys will respond and say, well, they're the ones with the nukes, they're the ones with the weapons, and they're the ones with the power. Absolutely, right? But strong people like that, or Goliath, as they would say, have fallen.
Yep.
Right? There's just too many of us to control. How many people are living on this planet at the moment? 6, 7 billion, maybe 8?
Yeah, so 60
that's
billion.
A lot of, right? Whatever it is, right? That's a lot of billion of people. Well, hold on, I'll tell you now how many. I think it's 6 billion. I don't think it's 60 billion. That's way too much.
No, it's very...
How many people are currently living on planet Earth?
In 2021, the population of Earth was 7,888,408,686.
So there you go. It was just under 8 billion.
Yeah, under 8 billion people.
Right? So that's a lot of people to control. So you need to wake up what they're doing. They need to get that number down. When they get that number down, we're easier to control then they can obviously destroy us, can't they? This is why it's important that you all get out there now to stop that from happening. You need to get out there. You are doing it for your kids and their kids. Never mind us. But it's our job. We're the generation now. We're the members of society that have been asked the question. Just like during the world wars, those people stood up to be counted. This is our time to stand up to be counted. I'm not saying it's like those 2 other times. Obviously, they were wars and they were horrible. But we're facing new threats. Remember, these people are smarter. These people are using technology. These people are using their pharmaceutical companies against us, right? Okay, but we could still, it doesn't mean we still can't fight. Of course we can. Of course we can. This is our test, right? We all sat at home like sheep for 2 years while they told us that there was this fucking virus running rampant around the world, right? As soon as they knew they could control us and keep us in our homes, it was game over. Nobody should have complied with the lockdowns. Nobody. But every time we play into their hands, now it's time. 2024 should be the year that people start smarting up and wising up now. The time to start waking up is too late. You must fucking wake up now. Because 2020, I'm telling you, right, this gets worse. Doesn't get better. It's not getting better in the long run. Oh, we'll just wait it out. It'll get better. This is not one of these situations. Right? These people are smart, they're powerful, they got a lot of money behind them, and they're still working behind the scenes right now as we're speaking, thinking of the next big thing that they can use. And they're already doing it now. You got this 100-day cough shit and some other fucking virus or something. Right? Wake up. Right? They don't come out of nowhere. These things were never around before. Remember that. Right? And now all of a sudden, all of these, even old diseases that we had under control, apparently, are all coming back. Ask yourself why. So look, 2024 will be out there again like I was this year. But you know, as everybody was saying, we're going to kind of change up the strategy a little bit this time round, because, you know, we've got to get people out. Like, I mean, in my country, you've seen the recent incident on the 23rd of November, 2023. Now, if you don't know, Google Irish news on that date. I have to be careful what I say here, but it involved 2 kids and a creche worker and a knife.
Yeah,
okay, and some lunatic. Okay, now that didn't motivate the people of Ireland to get up off their arse and show up yesterday, right? Because the government straight after it didn't concentrate on the fact that 2 kids and creche worker were, you know what? They concentrated on the riot and naming and shaming the people that actually were looting. And then what happened was then is people were afraid then to turn up, because what happens when the government's backed into a corner? What they always do, they use fear and intimidation.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they
Hide
did
the
this
truth.
time around. And you know what? You fell for it. Do you know what? I was very fucking disappointed yesterday. I've reconciled with it today. But I was disappointed when I walked around that corner and I seen how many people showing up. To the people that didn't show up, I know that some of the main players, they had other commitments, which is fine because they've been at every other one. So they're entitled to a fucking day off, especially when it's got to do with a family thing. It can't be helped, right? We can't predict, you know, certain things with family members. You know what I mean? That just happens, right? But for the others, they're all melt on social media for the last couple of months. Oh yeah, I'll go to the now. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. It still didn't turn up. Listen, right? I'm already known on social media anyway, right? Do you think I give a fuck if my face is planted all over the news because I'm at one of these events? No. Why should I be? Why should I be ashamed? Why should I have fear? When all I want the Irish government to do is to look after the people that they were elected to look after. Sort out the housing crisis. Sort out the educational system. Sort out the health crisis. Right? All the issues that we had when I was growing up as a kid, we still have today. That successive Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael governments have failed the Irish people since this country became a republic. This is not an overnight thing. And this is what I think this particular Irish government has miscalculated. This is years and decades of neglect by both parties. Right? You have never done anything for the youth in this country. No wonder they're running rampant all over the country. Never done anything for them. Right? Okay? Never. You fucking failed me and you failed them. Right? Now, I didn't go out and do all the shit that kids do, right? There was a couple of days when I was growing up that were into all of that shit, robbing cars and all of that other crap, right? I was never into that, right? But I could understand why they did the things that they did, because they had no prospects.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was judged in an interview, right? When I actually left school and went to college and did my first job interview, as soon as I mentioned the area that I was born in, and I wasn't living there anymore, by the way, I was living in a nicer fucking area. But because I had mentioned the place of my birth, the home, the place that made me, he says, sorry, we're not hiring today. Right? So when I hear politicians today in Ireland saying, oh, I had privilege. No. I had to work just as hard as everybody else for my skin color. Actually, I was discriminated against because of the area that I lived in. Because I didn't live in a well-to-do area. I wasn't suitable for the job. Right? So snobbery. And yous are doing such the fucking same with the youth today. No wonder they turn to fucking crime and all the other shit that they do. You have failed them. Right? You failed the Irish people. You failed Irish school kids. You've failed mothers and fathers in this country. Right? And you have failed to protect lives. You have no right to be sitting in the seat of power. None of yous have the right to call yous ourselves representatives of the people of Ireland. You do not represent me. You do not represent the morals, the values, the traditions, the culture of the Irish people. And when you don't represent those things, you are no longer fit to be in that seat. Right? So that's where I am with it. It's successive governments. You two gobshite parties have had plenty of time and plenty of fucking decades to fix this country and to turn this country into a fucking beautiful paradise that people can be proud of. This country has a lot of fucking potential, and every time you guys fuck it up, and you just wonder why the people of Ireland are again. Same with the people in England, Wales, and Scotland. You know what? You really need to get up off your arses over there as well, right? I can't actually believe that the English have let themselves be colonised when they were the ones that were doing it. Anyway, right? It fucking, you know what? It makes me fucking me boil blood. You fuckers were the experts at it, and you didn't see all the warning signs. Cop on.
We let globalist idiots take over, that's why.
Right, the British Isles and Ireland need to fucking come together and flush all of this shit out.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We should not be the dumping grounds for fucking Europe and every other fucking country that you want to dump in their fucking backyards. Right? Why do we have to be the rubbish bin?
Yeah. That's what
I
wouldn't
mind if you're bringing people in that are educated, that want to actually contribute to our society in a positive way and contribute to our economy by working.
Yeah.
Right? But you're not even bringing those people over anymore. That's the thing. Do you know what the shocking thing about our country is, right? Do you know what the most ironic thing about it is as well? Is that Leo and Micheál Martin will come out and say, yeah, we need to bring in all of these doctors and nurses and stuff and engineers because we don't have enough of them ourselves. And then
can I just stop you very quick there? The problem is they won't fucking train anyone in this country. No one wants to train anyone. They want to send you to university or college to train you. No one in the industry wants to train you. They want you to come in already trained and to immediately start work. It's ridiculous. We're not fucking robots.
I agree, but I'll give you a laugh what happens in this country. We train our nurses and doctors, all right, and we would have plenty of doctors and nurses. The problem is most of our doctors and nurses go to Australia, the US, and other European countries. They even go to the NHS in the UK.
Yeah, I know.
Because the pay structure over here, the hours over here, there's not enough hospitals in Ireland either, in my belief. Right, and the whole system is backwards. Right, it's a fucking shambles. Right, that's been their biggest. That and housing have been Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael's biggest issues that they've had over the last decade since this country became a republic.
Yeah,
and they haven't fixed it. They haven't fixed both. Right, they haven't fixed both in all of that time. So as far as I'm concerned, this is not just because of what they're doing right now and all of the stuff that they're doing right now. But I will say this, even though former Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael governments failed, the reason why this particular government that is a hybrid of the both, because they both merged now, because both of them didn't get enough votes in the election, but to stop Sinn Féin getting in, and Sinn Féin didn't have the numbers, they'd have to do deals with other parties and it would have got too messy. Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael decided for the benefit of the country, they said, that they would work together. But that government, that hybrid government, right, out of all of the governments that we've had, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the other coalitions that we had, this one is the most treacherous out of the whole lot because they're openly going against their people. They're openly silencing their people, right? I'm very passionate about this. I had the spaces about this yesterday. This way I don't want to do the Irish stuff on here, but I did do a spaces for the first time. So if you want to go and listen to that, it's on X already. But I will be doing streams on Rumble now, and I'll probably start next week, to be quite honest with you, because I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest, because I do believe I have to get me voice out there and hopefully try rally, even though nobody knows me. I'm just trying and hoping that I might be able to rally some people to come back on board with the movement or to join the movement, because we need as many people as we can get, because we're not going to win this with low numbers. But, you know, as I said, it always takes one voice to start something. And that there's still 40, as I said yesterday, 40 people turned up. Well, then that was still 40 voices. And it's, you know what I mean? It's not ideal, but hopefully it was because of a few factors. I'm hoping it's not because of the fear and the intimidation, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just hoping it's because it was too close to Christmas and people are busy.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of using that as the excuse. But if the one in January doesn't get the numbers, then we're in serious fucking trouble. Then the government, then I have to get more vocal. And others will have to get more vocal, and we'll have to rally the troops, as they say, because something has to happen. But look, we leave it there because, as I said, I've got a flooded fucking kitchen and a fucking washing machine to fix. So, nightmare, guys. I tell you, this Christmas clean out is not fucking going as planned. Oh, it's just, you know what, as well, I was tired after yesterday's gathering. I went home. I was really bad, right? I don't know how I got through the movie. I think it was because of the movie, to be quite honest. But you know what? When I left and I sat down, I swear it was like a truck hit me. I just felt so drained. I fell asleep early, right? But I kept waking up. It was uninterrupted sleep. I didn't get up till midday today, and I haven't done that in a while. I've been getting up very fucking early, but Jesus, and I still feel like shit. And then it was like, oh shit, I've got stuff to do today now. Not the stream, but stuff here. It's like, oh man, I've got stuff to do now. And we're like, fuck. Then I had to cook dinner. And then the washing machine flooded, and I was like, oh man, it's been playing up the last couple of weeks. And I was like, we can't afford one right now. So, like, I have to try figure it out. And then I realized that there was a fucking build up of water. So I had to fucking remove the valve. But when I did, because the washing machine's so low to the fucking floor, the bucket couldn't fucking take the water. So when I opened it, it flooded fucking out. And I mean, there was 5, because I haven't done it in 5 years or something. Forgot all about it. 5 years of fucking water. So you can imagine. Yeah. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. So yeah. And then when I do that, then I have to make sure that the washing machine's all good. So I'll have to put it on a cycle to see, obviously with no clothes, see if that's done the trick. Yeah, so, oh man. And then I've got all the planning for, I said to her today, I'm like, oh shit. Like, when it comes to Christmas and when I get to cook the dinner, I'll be fine once I'm in my flow. But you know, when you think about it and you think about all the things you have to do, it's like, oh man, I can't. I'm just not able for it this year. But you do be. You moan about it all the time, but you end up getting it done. And then, yeah. So, was the filter block on it? Filter block? What are we talking about?
I don't know. You just talked about your washing machine.
Oh, the filter block. Oh, the thing. I don't know, man. I bought the washing machine, right? And it didn't have one of those little doors on it. So I always assumed it didn't have one, right? But apparently I had to take apart the bottom of the fucking washing machine, and there was the cap there, and I forgot about, because I'm pretty sure I did it once before, but then I forgot all about, because you know what my memory has been like lately, and I forgot that was there. So yeah, I got the knife and jabbed it fucking open, and then twisted the cap, and then the water just came out like fucking. It was something like biblical, except it was it wasn't. But yeah, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, we're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna get PD to do his usual shout out. Okay. So I'm back, but I'm back on Sunday for the classic Who's On. We don't do anything on Saturday because obviously Doctor Who is not back yet. So this Saturday, I'm obviously, because I have been tired, I'm taking this Saturday off, but we will be back Sunday for, of course, Classic Who's On with myself and Queen Charlotte, because PD obviously has just told me.
Keep the porch light on, proverbial porch light on for me.
I will still send the email as usual, right? So you'll get the email, and if you could pop in. I think it's myself, Real Super Doctor, and Queen Charlotte. I'll just double check with Queen Charlotte. I also had problems with mine. All they're pain in the hole, man. I don't know the first thing about washing machines, mate. I just know how to work them, and then I'm pretty sure I did that before though, and I just forgot all about it, because you are supposed to empty it or something, because it can get stuff trapped in it and all of that. And I suppose having Ted, could be dog hair and stuff like that. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's clean anyway. It's just the water now I have to sort out, because the water is all over the fucking floor. I've got shit over the floor just to try dry it up now at the moment. So I've got to clean all of that, throw out all the shit that I used to fucking put down on the floor. Oh, man, it's a disaster. And I have to open up the thing again just to make sure I got all the water. And if not, then obviously it's going to flood even further. Peter says, I know I find it concerns me that so many fans are pro the message, ignoring progressive politics for mere entertainment. Well, we're not. We're still highlighting it. But some fans, unfortunately, Ian Levine was done at the Davros gate. All it took was the RTD to bring the toy maker back, I should say, to make him change his mind. So yeah, you're right. You're right. There is a lot of fans out there that would normally call this out, that are ignoring it because it's RTD. But I will say this, he has to improve on his writing and less of the hammering across the head to win all of the fans over. But you are right. I have been kind of startled at the way some fans have just ignored it. But look, what can you do? They're entitled to. I think they're hypocrites.
They're addicts.
I think they're sellouts personally. But
total addicts.
I told Ian to his face he was a sellout. I don't give a shit. Yeah, that's if you have a problem with Davros Gate, and then all it takes is for the toy maker to come back, and he even had that cringy scene. Then he complained about the song. So I don't know what Ian. I don't even listen to him anymore, to be quite honest with you.
He's got bipolar.
But anyway, bipolar, boy who or whatever the fuck he has, but he want to cop on to himself. He was right. He was right when he said RTD was going to lose his car. He should have stuck by that. Too many, Noel, far too many. Peter, there's nothing we could do about it. Listen, mate, we'll have our opinions on it. I mean, there were some elements that I liked of all 3 episodes. I'm not going to lie. But overall, I was disappointed because it was supposed to be a 60th celebration of Doctor Who. And he did hammer. I mean, there was no message in the second one whatsoever. It was just, and again, to me, that's still the best episode out of the 3 is the second one. But there were things in that niddled me and that I didn't like either. So for me, the 60th wasn't an overall success. But, unfortunately, Peter, people have their own opinions and have their own minds, and we can't force ours on them. So let them look. If they get burnt again, it's their own fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And more than likely, they probably are going to get burnt again. So let them find out the hard way. When they realise, not everybody realises fast enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let them, at the end of the day, we don't have the right to tell people what they like and shouldn't like. The other side like to tell us that, but we don't have the right to tell anybody. So let them be and let them do what they want. The 60th anniversary was a mixed bag. I agree. That's the best way I can describe it. But for a 60th anniversary celebration of Doctor Who, it was piss poor.
Yeah, it was more a celebration of David Tennant, really. Not even a good one of that.
That's it. But anyway, PD's going to do the shout. Sorry, we got sidetracked there, but Peter,
got totally sidetracked.
Peter just, we do see Peter every so often, and so Peter does be busy looking after his man and visiting. So it does be nice when he comes in. We like to acknowledge when he comes in. So that's
He's
it.
on the other side of the planet. It's fine.
That's it, and he's in Australia, so
That's what I just said.
we see him, we like to mention him. So there you go, Peter. And I agree with you with the views it's losing, but look, again, they're going to spin that as much as they can, and they're making the same mistakes as the Whitaker era. Just let them, right? Because soon enough they'll find out the hard way.
Yeah, that's why I kept saying to Daniel, I said just walk away, let it burn, because Phoenix could rise from the ashes.
Yeah, unless it starts being good again, and then
we'll come back.
We can all come back then, and that would be great.
Trek. We did it with Star Trek.
So if there's a season that's good, we'll come back. That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
So leave it. Look. Right now they've made it clear the show's not for us. So just leave it. Let it be.
Let them find their mystical audience. That's what I say.
And if they find that audience, then fair play to them, and the show becomes great. Then fair play. We all come back. We're all happy. Doctor Who's brilliant again. If not, then we'll just wait until it crashes and burns, goes on hiatus, and then hopefully then we can leave it a few years.
Someone from outside.
Yeah, we'll leave it a few years, and then what we'll do is we'll petition the BBC to finally bring it back, and hopefully then they get some people in that know their sci-fi, and then obviously study Doctor Who. And
well, we could have had someone new with sci-fi. It's like Rusty Davis instead. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I know, but they wouldn't. They were never going to go.
No, because he's not part of the BBC club, is he?
No, so that's the deal.
Anyway, they're going wrong.
Anyway, I've went 18 minutes over than I was planned to, so I'm gonna leave because I have a tight schedule. Seriously, man.
Okay.
So I'll let PD. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to let PD now do the show. So I'll be back next week as well after Sunday. So that's all I need to say. So back to you, Mr. PD Rich, and you've got loads of channels.
I'm putting them in that we speak. Yeah, if you could go over to see Rabbi. Rabbi is on Tuesdays for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays or Sundays, depending how he feels. He's over there. A good friend Cinnamon, who always pops in the chats to us every once in a while. Go and see his channel. Good friend Bowles Trek is making content again. Of course, go to Daniel's channel. I'll put in a minute. And who else? Jack, yeah.
And the
Gobby.
Gobstar.
Yeah, okay. Just whack those in.
I hope you get all sorted out now. Oh, Jesus, Nicholas, man. You know what? I mean, last year we had quite a bit to do. It's not that we have quite a bit to do. It's not as if we don't clean the house, do you know what I mean? But every it's like Christmas period is our spring clean. We like to do it near Christmas, you know what I mean? So we don't have to do it in the new year, the spring clean. Do you know that sort of way? Not the way everybody just as a whole, you do the whole gaff and you throw out whatever you don't want and all of that. So that's what we're doing. But the washing machine is another thing now because we'd already lost 2 hobs on our Cougar.
Oh God.
Right? So we've got 2 hobs on that. We lost the oven last year. So we had to buy one of those little mini ovens. So we have one of them now.
Right?
So the last thing we need to break right now is actually the washing machine because we can't afford to replace the washing machine right now. So I've done all of that now, and I'm hoping that has done the trick. If not, I'm gonna have to fucking think of something drastic. But
deep, yeah.
It's not looking good. But anyway, we will see you on Sunday, and what you call it, the Enlightenment. It is Peter Davison. How many parts is that? It's
I think that's 4 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 25-minute.
Are we watching the standard version or the special edition? There's 2 versions.
No, I don't know. I'll see what one Charlotte has watched. I'll see what one is available on that place that we watched them on. I think that's where she'll be watching it anyway. So that'll be that version that she's watching. So come and join us for that anyway, guys. Listen, enjoy your weekend, right? And I'll see you, as I said, I will see you all over the Christmas. I will be putting up the trailers. I will be picking the movies tonight for next week's movies on. Remember, the theme is Christmas. So as we've already done Die Hard, I will not be putting Die Hard in there because we done Die Hard a few weeks ago. So we won't be doing Die Hard, but I will put some Christmas movies. Some the Patrick Stewart version of Christmas Carol will be definitely going in the poll. But there'll be other Christmas movies as well. And there'll be Christmas movies. Basically, there'll be Christmas movies that I have enjoyed over Christmas and I continue to watch still to this day. So the 4 movies that I pick will be movies that are Christmas movies that I still watch to this day. And then your job then, guys, is to vote on your favorite one out of that list. And that will be the one that we'll be doing on Thursday evening. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be interesting to see what movies you guys choose. Hey, Noel, choose a Doctor Who Christmas special. Well, I'll be doing the Christmas special on Christmas Day anyway. If you're talking about one of the other, I know what Christmas special he's talking about, but I did that last year. I did them all last year. Do you remember?
Oh,
we ended up getting them all done. Yeah, well, I ended up doing. No, I did them because I think at that time not many people were watching, so I just decided to do them for myself. But I think Chris was in there, but we definitely did do them. I did Voyage of the Damned and I did the Christmas Invasion all the way up. Yeah, I did them all, and we ended on an adventure in space and time. So I did them all already. I'll do the Chris. I'll say I'm not saying I'll rule out doing maybe the odd Doctor Who Christmas special as a special watch along maybe, but no, I'm gonna stick the movies are gonna stay movies, so I'm gonna do the movie as our Christmas movies on the Movie Zone for a couple of weeks, just a couple of weeks, because I get kind of sick and tired of Christmas films then after a certain time, so then we can go back to watching some great movies then, because Christmas movies are a bit fluff, so you know. Anyway, we'll think about that, Peter. Thank you for your input. Thank you, everybody that's been obviously leaving comments in the chat there as well, and in the comment section. And again, we've gotten a few new subscribers as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're slowly ticking over, folks. So I want to thank you all again, and as you know, we'll talk to you New Year's Eve anyway, where I'll be thanking you to high hell for another year of support and all of that, probably half drunk and all of this crap and getting emotional and blah 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 blah, but you like all of that, so come and join me for that as well. We'll be doing something anyway, we always do, because I'm at the time where I don't really want to be going out Christmas because it's full of dickheads anyway. Christmas Eve, everybody pretends to be nice to you. Hate that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you could look at it this way. So people do make the effort, don't they, for once a year or whatever. But fuck that shit. You can't be nice all year round and don't be nice at all on one night. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, cheerio. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. And I shall talk to you again on Sunday. PD, it's been a pleasure streaming with you as well tonight. As I said, I'm going to head straight off, but I just want to say I'll talk to you if I don't talk to you on Sunday, I'll obviously see you during the week. And as I said, we will get together, the whole lot of us that have featured on the channel behind the scenes, and we'll have a bit of a chat. So yeah, anybody that's featured on the channel like Cinnamon, Scottish Stavros and Charlotte and stuff, and anybody else that joined us over the year, we're going to have a little bit of a gathering before Christmas, a couple of the nights before Christmas, and just have a bit of a chat with each other and stuff like that, just before the Christmas comes in and stuff, because you know, once the Christmas comes in, people will be, I'm not saying we don't talk, but it's nice to have a bit of a chat before then. So we're going to do a bit of a catch up. So if any of you are interested, it'll be backstage. It won't be actually on live. We'll be just talking as a group of friends, as we always have done. Because you know, we don't do it as often as we can, because we're all busy doing other stuff. So I'm going to do a bit of a catch up. We'll all talk. Obviously, probably Lee will be there as well, and Chris, everybody that streamed with me and stuff like that. And we'll have a bit of a catch up and a chat. So if you are all interested, obviously, let me know, and we will do that a couple of days. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Just have one backstage, where we can be a little bit looser, maybe have a couple of drinks as well for the people that do drink, and just have a little bit of fun behind the scenes, because we haven't done it in a while, and we used to have some laugh behind the scenes. It's just that we're all busy now lately, and that means that we're all doing well, and I'm proud of you all. So I just want to say that there's a lot of yous out there that are doing stuff, and I'm proud of yous all. And that's what we are as a community. We back each other through the good and the bad times. So keep it good, keep it going, guys. 2024 is definitely, some of yous out there will have a great year. On social media, I think the majority of us will just get on with it anyway, 2024, and make the best of the situation, won't we, guys? But some of yous out there, I expect a lot of things, and I think yous will deliver. So, anyway, I'm off. I shall see yous all on Sunday, and good night. Bye-bye.
Night.